Devon Larratt used to be ranked really high in super heavyweight arm wrestling. He wasn't competing enough back then. He's competing more now, but unfortunately his ranking seems to be going down. Engin released East vs West rankings and Devon seems to be out of top 5 there. X Sports rankings have Devon at number 5. The poll that I created on my channel, which we can say is the ranking given by fans, that poll has Devon somewhere around 5 to 7. So where exactly should Devon be placed in these rankings, and we will discuss East vs West rankings by Engin Terzi in detail. So let's find out. First of all, we need to know how much of a difference can there realistically be between East vs West super heavyweight rankings and world super heavyweight rankings. So if we include Levan Saginashvili, Denis Iplenkov, Alex Kordecha, maybe Vitaly Lalitin as well, and Zaur Pezulaev, then the rankings can change a lot. Without these 5 arm wrestlers, this ranking list seems to be good. So let's discuss each ranking in detail. First of all, we have number 10, Arif Artem. Arif has competed 4 times. He lost 3-0 to Ermes at East vs West 2. Then he defeated Krasimir 3-0 at East vs West 3. Won 3-0 against Corey West as well at East vs West 6. Then he lost 3-2 to Dzeranov at East vs West 7. At number 9, we have Georgi Dzeranov. He defeated Kalinishenko at East vs West 5 with a score of 3 pins to 2. Then he made a similar comeback against Arif Artem as well at East vs West 7 and won with a score of 3 pins to 2. So he has given us 2 grinding matches and won both of them and has number 9 as the rankings on this list. Georgi Tsvetkov vs Jerry Cadorette. Georgi has competed only once against Jerry at East vs West 6 and he lost in a really close match which was supposed to be for the super heavyweight East vs West title. He's ranked at number 8. So this ranking clearly shows that this time it is not 100% based on results. Engin likes to keep the rankings as close to the results as possible without speculations. But this includes speculations because Dzeranov, who won both of his matches, is ranked behind Georgi Tsvetkov, who lost his only match. So there are some speculations going on here. After that, we have Dave Chaffee. So easy money, Dave lost to Genadi 3 pins to 2 at East vs West 3. Then he lost to Morozov at East vs West 4 with the same score. Then he lost 3-0 to Ermes at East vs West 5 and 3-0 to Revaz at East vs West 7. So Dave hasn't won a single match but is still ranked ahead of people who have won some matches at super heavyweight. So clearly the level of competition is being taken into consideration here. Then we have No Limits Devon Larratt. Devon has only competed twice and the results are as follows. East vs West 5, Devon wins 3-0 against Evgeny Prodnik. Then Devon lost 3-2 to Genadi Kvikvinia in a war at East vs West 7. So now let's take a look at this poll that I created on my channel. Where do you think Devon Larratt is currently ranked in the super heavyweights? 2 to 4, 28% people believe. 5 to 7, 59, the majority. 8 to 10, 13. So why I didn't have number 1 and outside of top 10 in this list? Because I genuinely believe that this is where Devon Larratt should be. I don't think he is outside of top 10 and I don't think that anyone should believe that he's number 1. Although people would have still voted for those 2 options. There are many people in the comment section who are saying why isn't there an option for outside of top 10? Because that's where Devon belongs. Okay, let's read and analyze some of the interesting comments from this community post. People keep saying, and I disagree 100%. He looks nowhere near as muscular or as healthy as he did 6 years ago and his endurance is sucking now. So is Devon really that great? Is he really 15, 20, 25% stronger than what he was before as he was claiming? Maybe compared to his 2016 shape, but the 2011 Devon, that looked really strong. And his endurance, it just cannot be as good as it used to be. It can be good in controlled practice environment, but when there is chaos against arm wrestlers like Genadi, the practice, the endurance has to suffer. The stamina has to suffer because he's 48 years old right now. I also believe that Devon is slightly stronger than what he used to be in his previous peak shape, I would say. And there is a comment against Evgeny Prodnik here as well. So I think that was 115 kg Devon, and he wasn't prepared as well. But his endurance should have been better, which was slightly better in that match, but Prudnik ain't Genadi either. So interesting comment. Not saying that I agree with it, but thought-provoking comment. I don't see other than Levan that powerful enough to beat Devon with domination. Once domination is out of the game, then Devon is toughest one to compete. Once the hit is stopped, everybody knows what happens. With Genadi, it was close, but in my view, definitely under top 5 unless tested with every top 10 arm wrestlers. So people are saying that Devon will stop someone, and if he stops them, he will beat them, because not everyone is Genadi and not everyone is Levan, who is so powerful that Devon cannot even get the stop. And that seems somewhat logical to me. Out of top 10 should also be an option. That is the right one. So yeah, he is the lightest guy in the super heavyweight. That's a possibility. That is a possibility. And one more comment. Let's see. Here are the supers that beat or can beat Devon. So he's out of top 10. I don't agree with this logic at all. Tell me who has Genadi beaten in this list. So that logic is totally flawed. If we talk about Ermes, I think yeah, he has beaten Genadi, but Vitali, who has Vitali beaten on this list? Nobody, literally nobody. Dimitri Silaev maybe. So this logic, in my opinion, cannot work. And one more interesting thing, one more thought-provoking thing. Devon has competed only once in the super heavyweights at East versus West, and he lost that match. But Evgeny Prudnik competed once against Artyom Morozov, and he won that match, and yet he's not on this list. That logic is beyond my understanding, because Prudnik isn't the 115 kg champ. Devon is the 115 kg champ. So if we say that Prudnik doesn't belong in this list because of his weight, then Devon doesn't belong either. So at this super heavyweight, Prudnik has a much better record compared to Devon. So that is one reasoning. Maybe you know why Prudnik isn't included here and Devon is. Let me know in the comment section. Then we have Revaz Lutidze, the Georgian giant. He competed 4 times, defeated Michael Todd 3-2 at East vs West 3. He defeated Derek Smith 3-0. Then if we talk about Artyom Morozov match, he lost 3-1 at East vs West 5. Then Revaz dominated Dave Chaffee 3-0 at East vs West 7. So pretty good record over there. Nobody except Prudnik was able to pin Morozov or get a win over Morozov in one round, but Revaz did. And then we have Artyom Morozov. He lost 3-0 at East vs West 2 against Evgeny Prudnik. Then 3-0 against Derek. Then 3-2 against Dave Chaffee. 3-1 against Revaz Lutidze. And he competed left-handed as well, which is irrelevant, but he defeated Toby Sisparong, Matt Mask, Cody Merritt, and Ermes Gasparini. Then we have the Georgian general Genadi Kvikvinia. Genadi vs Michael Todd 3-0 East vs West 2. Genadi vs Dave 3-2 at East vs West 3. Genadi vs Jerry. This time he lost 3-2 to Jerry at East vs West 4, which was probably the most important match besides the Devon match. Genadi vs Farid Osmanli 3-0 East vs West 6. Genadi vs Devon 3-2 East vs West 7. So he has lost only once, and that too was a really close match. Ermes Gasparini. We have the Italian interim world champion of East vs West. He defeated Matt Mask 3-1 at East vs West 1, which is strange. Even in 2021, Matt was able to pin Ermes once. Ermes Gasparini vs Arif Artem 3-0 at East vs West 2. Ermes vs Dave 3-0 at East vs West 5. And Jerry Cadorette, he's right there with Ermes at number 1 spot. Jerry vs Genadi 3-2 East vs West 4. And then against Georgi Tsvetkov 3-2 at East vs West 6. So the champion Jerry is barely hanging in there. He has won both of his matches, but both of them, he was like an inch or two from losing. So Jerry, I would say, is barely hanging in there. Ermes has a slightly better record, I would say, than Jerry Cadorette. So these are the East versus West rankings. What are the rankings that you agree with or don't agree with? Mention some of the feedbacks or suggestions that you may have in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Like the video and please subscribe.